So quiet. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Why do I have to do this every Wednesday, y'all? Every Wednesday. Do I have to? Maybe buenos dias. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Good morning, everyone. You see, that's the spirit. You saw the difference, right? Yes, it was great. Thank you so much. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Before we start, guys, do me a huge favor. We didn't have Miss Eva today in the front, so she didn't help me too much with the registration. Take a few minutes to scan this QR code, please, if you can. Sign in. Okay, if not, I'll do it at the end. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Whose first time is it today? Whose first time is it being here? Michelle is one of them over there. Is there anyone here for the first time? Los de aquella mesa no, aquellos ya son rookies, ya han estado aquí. Thank you so much. Welcome. What's your name? Leroy. Daniel, nice to meet you. So let me tell you a little bit about ourselves. My name is Daniel Garza. I am part of the UTRGB team with the ECC, the Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center. We are part of eBridge, and with our partners from BCAC, we decided that we were hosting this national program called 1 Million Cups. The premises of it is every single Wednesday we meet right here on the spot at 9 in the morning to hear two stories from two entrepreneurs, tell us about the journey, what they're doing in the community, and then us as a community say, hey, how can I help? What can I do? So it's a focus group. It's a way to highlight some of the people we have or the talent we have here in the region. And then it's just a matter for us to connect with each other. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I have a chance, I'd rather do things in community than doing it by myself. Sorry, my clicker is failing today. So I already told you guys, two speakers every Wednesday. We ask the community support, and we get cafecito, which is whichever out of those three that interest you, that bring you here today, I'm happy with. So far we've done 4,785 cups of coffee, which for me is actual connections we've done over the last 3 years that we've been doing 1 million cups. My goal for this year is 7,000 cups. No, six. I was like, no, six. Let's just, boy, you better start bringing a friend because I'm not gonna be able to do this by myself. But you know what? I like that. Positive thinking, scalable growth. You know what? I like that. I like that. So 7,000 this year. If not, I'll be happy with six. We're mid. We're in the almost. Well, we're already in the midst of this year, and we actually started at 4,000. We are at 785 connections we've done in the last 6 months. So thank you guys, actually. Thank you for every single one of you guys that keep going on Wednesday and that keep seeing the value on this program. There's nothing more that I like that whenever we finish the program, I get to talk to you, to a couple of you, and see how this has helped or how this has bring some inspiration, or maybe you found someone, customer, a partner, a something, and you see the value, and that's what keeps you coming, or at least that's what I like to tell myself. In this moment, I want to say, just be mindful. We have two amazing presenters today. One of them is a business owner. The other one is a resource for you guys. I would say you guys are too quiet sometimes. Ask questions, have fun with it, interact with the speakers. And if sometimes you don't have a chance to ask a question here, or you're a little mic shy, there's always a times after the presentation to talk to them. The beauty of 1 Million Cups, it's not in the presentation itself, but it's in the thing that happens after. I'm gonna ask a question for like maybe the 100th times this year. What is the difference between networking and a meaningful connection? Nelson? Answer what happens after. What happened after? Okay. Ed? Opportunities. Something else. Making business. There you go. Thank you. I think you got me one of the best examples of a meaningful connection is like, instead of you asking for a business card or doing something, you just shoot an email and say, hey, I have this proposal. I have things coming up. I would like to connect. There's a big difference between just sending that email, sending that text, or hey, you have a business. You know what? Let me share your product. I really like it. I think that would be something cool that we can go out of here. Or like, hey, I know you're on Google. Let me leave a review for your product. Like there's something that you can do, taking an action and not just an opportunity. But anyway, guys, enough about me. So let me welcome you guys, Leslie Garcia. She's the founder of Brain Power Tutoring Center, and she'll be presenting first today. So let's give her a round of applause, please.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody's enjoying their morning today and their cups of coffee. My name is Leslie Garcia. I am the founder of Brain Power Tutoring Center. We are located here in downtown on Washington Street out of the Crosshatch building, which was the old Coca-Cola building, which was refurnished into a working space. There are many other businesses there and a really awesome nonprofit, Real Progress. They're also housed in there. So, a little bit about me. My most important role is being a mom. So, I like to call myself a mompreneur because my daughter comes first in everything that I do. I founded Brain Power Tutoring in 2024. One day I was just at home thinking, what can I do beyond the classroom? I already make an impact with students at my campus, but what can I do to further expand this? So I decided, let me tutor. And I did tutor. I have a background in bilingual education. I graduated from UTRGV in 2017 with my bachelor's, and then I went back and I got my master's in curriculum and instruction in 2019. I've always liked learning. I've always liked school. When I would come home from school when I was little, I didn't need help with my homework. I would do everything completely by myself. And I would always tell my mom, who is here, that I'm going to be a teacher when I grow up. And I became a teacher. My dream came true. So, brain power tutoring, it's more than tutoring. We started with just reading tutoring because my focus is more on teaching kids how to read. Right now, the United States as a whole, we're in a literacy crisis. There are students in high school that cannot read, they cannot fill a college application form. And we have to get to the root of it with structured literacy and research based approaches. We recently started offering math tutorials, which I'm very excited about. I hired my first tutor, so I'm very, very excited about that. And we also offer throughout the year a STAR test preparation. So there is a class for kids third through sixth grade, and we help them prepare for their important state exam. The way that I make sure that my students and our parents get the most out of this investment is conducting reading evaluations. Before a client comes in, I tell the parent what we do and that the first thing that I have to determine is the level that they're at. That way I can provide that personalized instruction that fits their needs. I'm not just working on worksheets and coloring. Everything is structured. Everything is multisensory and it fits the need of the child because parents want to see the worth of their investment. So I strive to give them the best resources and activities that can further their academic growth. One of my favorite things that I started doing in the fall is our monthly workshops. I titled them Read and Create because it shifts a little bit from that structured tutoring to we read a story, we work on some phonics activities, and then we do a craft. So depending on the season, for Earth Day, we read a story about when the earth lost its colors, and the kids had a lot of fun reading it, and then we planted a little plant and they got that as a keepsake to take home. So we shift a little bit from that whole structured tutoring to kids just having fun reading, which is what we want. We want kids not just to read because teachers tell them you have to read because you have to pass your STAR test. We want kids to actively get up, get books that they're interested in, and have a love and passion for that literacy. One of the things that I pride myself in a lot is our parent feedback. After each session, I talk to the parents briefly, whether it's 1 to 2 minutes, about what I did, how did the lesson go, and I like that they always ask me, well, what else can I do at home? And I'm always very happy to provide any extra resources or websites or even extra curriculum that is affordable and parent friendly to them. Before all of this, before I was in Crosshatch, I started, like I said, back in 2024, and I put myself out there on social media and I said, look, I'm providing this service, and I got an overwhelming amount of people wanting to receive these services. I did not expect that. So we started going into people's homes in home tutoring, which, if I think about it, not the safest thing to do, but thank God nothing ever happened to me. Some people chose to get their services at the public library, and we did that for a while. After that, I saw the opportunity of a space here in downtown at the Crosshatch building, and it happened very fast. I said, well, I'm just starting to tutor now. Maybe in 2 years, 3 years, I'll have my own space. But it happened within 3 months. And so that made me tell myself everything that I want, if I work hard for it, I can achieve it. Yes, there's going to be hurdles. Yes, doors may be closing. Yes, it might seem like, you know what, this is not going to work out. But it happened so fast. And from there, I was able to, that next year, we serviced 20 families. And then right now in 2026, our current is we are servicing 30 families for the summer for both math and for reading. Here are my kids. These are my kids at the workshop. Some students working on not book report, but like book analysis. And our workshops, they're very interactive. As you can see them, they're kind of playing like a hopscotch game, but it's all learning. And they come out of the sessions and they're like, teacher, I can read. I did it. I can read. And that makes me so happy. And it makes the parents super happy to see that progress. Over here's one of our read and create workshops. This story was titled When Spring Comes. And then they got to do some painting, some art with a theme of spring. So those are some services that we provide. And I'm most proud of our success within our students. Right now, 90% of our families return after every semester, and I feel so grateful that they trust me to help their children. Most of my new clients come from parent referrals. Every time they call me, they tell me, well, it's because so and so has their daughter with you, and they told me that you really helped them out. So I'm I'm very, very grateful for my current clients, especially the very first 5 families that I started with that are still with me. They're, because of them, I am where I'm at right now, because they trusted in me and they told other people about my service. Power of networking, as I were talking about in the beginning. We are proud to say that we receive 5-star feedback from families, such as brain power tutoring has helped my daughter improve her reading skills incredibly. I have seen a big difference in her testing scores and real growth in her reading. And also positive feedback from their educators at school. I really like it when parents come every 6 weeks or every 9 weeks with the kids' report cards and they tell me, look at how they were in the fall and now they're getting AB honor roll. So that's how I know that my mission and vision was completed and I was able not just to give a student confidence, but give a parent hope that just because the teacher is already trying certain things and it's not working, they were brave enough to find outside help and it worked. It works for them. What's next for Brain Power Tutoring? My goal is for Brain Power Tutoring to be a one-stop shop for all education needs, where we not only provide tutoring for all subject areas, but also maybe one day have the services of a speech language pathologist, of a diagnostician, where students can get diagnosed outside of the school setting. We also want to provide in the future parent workshops to better understand and aid their child's academic journey. Maybe they don't want to get a tutoring service, but maybe they want to help out their child. Because at the end of the day, parents are their child's first teachers. So I also want to help them and prepare them with the tools and the resources if they choose to do that. Homeschool is becoming increasingly popular in these days, so we do want to offer some support and collaborative environments that not only allow for academic growth, but for socializing. And we want to start a toddler academy which was inspired by my daughter. We want kids to be ready for preschool. A lot of the times, something that we are seeing statistically is that our little ones come into preschool and they are not prepared, not only academically, but with their fine motor, with their gross motor. A lot of the times, they are very dependent on adults to do a lot of things, such as, you know, zipping up my jacket or opening up the lunchbox, and they need to be prepared for these things when they go to school. So through our toddler academy, we want to provide that support with that, not only academic but fine motor and gross motor. Fine motor, if you're not in education field, is your small muscle, so the writing, and then the gross motor is with your big muscle, so running, walking. That's what I mean with that. And then one of the main things that I would want to do in the future, and in collaboration with anybody that will want to be a part of it, is to host annual school supply drives. I want to give back to the community and host once a year before school, just a drive for students in need that need school supplies. Sometimes some parents in our community have trouble getting some of the items. Sometimes those lists are very, very long. So something that I really would want to do is to give back to the community in that way. We are available on all social media platforms, and our QR code is directed to our link tree, where you can find all of our registration forms for all of our different services. And I want to thank you for listening to me, listening to my story. I hope that it has helped you understand your own story, and that everybody that dreams something, they are capable of achieving it. And lastly, I want to thank my parents, because if it wasn't for their spankings, just kidding, they didn't spank me. And because of them, they shaped me into who I am now, and they helped me so much with my daughter. I'm able to do what I want to do because of them. And also I can take my daughter with me to the center, and she's learning all her letters and sounds, and so I'm very happy for that. And I also want to thank my partner for pushing me and motivating me when I say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and he says, no, like, this is just like a little rock in the path, you can do it. But that is it for Brain Power Tutoring. Thank you so much.
Presentation. So a question also goes a long way. Maybe it could be an advice, maybe it could be a, hey, you did great. That also feels great too. So let's start with the question. There's one over there. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For taking a step forward, and not only that, for being an educator.
Thank you.
Literacy is a big demand. My question is basically, what are your price ranges? Do they have like a membership going, or how are you improving?
So at the beginning, we used to do per session, but then tutoring, you're also exchanging your time for a service. So then I decided, once we opened up at Crosshatch, I started doing monthly. So the prices depend on how many times per week and what type. I actually forgot to mention that we do offer, our most popular one is a one-to-one support, but we also have our small group sessions. In the small groups, there are only 5 students at a time to still deliver that personalized instruction, but it depends if you want a one-to-one, if you want a small group, and the frequency, once, twice, 3 times a week.
There's one question over there.
Thank you.
¿Cuáles son las estrategias que tú tomas para poder mantener tu negocio vigente en estos años tan difíciles que hay muchas organizaciones, no profit y profit, que también dan los mismos servicios? ¿Qué es lo que te diferencia de ellos?
Estudio lo que ellos hacen y me baso en lo que ellos, no me baso en lo que ellos están haciendo, pero trato de, no se puede decir mejorarlo, pero estudiar a las demás organizaciones, hay muchas organizaciones que dan los mismos servicios, pero cada quien es diferente. Entonces, algunas personas que solamente dan servicios en las casas, otras personas que los dan en la librería. Yo he escuchado que algunas veces dan el servicio y solamente, ok, ya terminamos, no dan el parent feedback. Esto fue una de las cosas que creo que me marca diferente a los demás, porque siempre los papás me dicen, muchas gracias porque me estás comunicando lo que estás haciendo, cómo va progresando. Entonces, estudiar a los demás, ¿verdad? Y strategize, de no copiar lo que ellos hacen, pero modificarlo y cada cliente es diferente. Entonces, el cliente de alguna tutora a lo mejor le gusta cómo ella hace las cosas, pero mis clientes, yo ya sé lo que a ellos les gusta, la expectativa que ellos tienen de los servicios. Por el momento, no. Thank you. Yes. Yes. So my day typically starts at 7:30, and I teach all the way to 4. Sometimes when my previous campus had me stay for tutorials, I would get out until the last kid leaves, right? 5, 5:15, 5:30. And I have an assistant. My assistant will be at the office. She'll have the office and everything ready for me for the client to come in. But yes, so my days in the last year have been 7 to 7 every day. But right now I'm transitioning, so I am heavily thinking of just dedicating myself to this full time.
Is that how you acquire children?
No, I was not allowed to market in my campus. So sometimes there was instances where some parents would, when we would have like the parent conferences, oh, I heard that you tutor, and I would tell them about the service, but I would tell them, handbook policy says I can only tutor your child during the summer, or if I were not to work here anymore. It depends campus to campus. I've only worked at one campus for the last 7 years, so I'm pretty sure it depends campus to campus. But where I was at, they were pretty much like very strict, like no, it just has to be during the summer time.
And sorry, do you have a bottleneck right now?
Do I have a what? I'm sorry?
Like a bottleneck, like is there a certain thing you're like, I wish I could do that would help my business or?
Yes. I mean, I guess I don't wish, because I could just not teach at all and just dedicate myself to this. It's just kind of more of just taking that leap of faith, because I know sometimes like some of my colleagues would be like, well, it's because if you quit, like the kids only go to school, like they go to school the whole day. So I'm like, okay, there's like homeschool kids and there's toddlers and there's many other things that you can, do. Many other things. It's not just a tutoring service. Like I said, I wanted to become a one-stop shop for all education needs, like have a diagnostician available and a dyslexia teacher, which is something that I want to get certified in very soon. Just that way, every type of learner can get a service from us. Because one of the things that some of the I would say future clients, they come in, they're very scared because they tell me, well, it's because my kid has level 1 autism. Do you work with that kind of child? Because I went somewhere else and she told me that no, she couldn't. So I give them a chance. I say, well, you know what? Bring them in. I have experience working with all kinds of students. I'm certified pre-K through 6th grade. Bring them in. Let me do an evaluation. Let me see if he can benefit from the service. Sometimes they want them to do small groups, but I'm like, let's see, because due to some of the diagnosis, for example, like a student with ADHD, if he's in a group, he's gonna have a hard time, depending on the level. So I give them the chance through the assessment, and of course, like some anecdotal from the parents, like what are the things that they see at school, what are the things they see at home, and then we go from there. But I guess that kind of piggybacks to that question, like what do I do to stand out? I give every child a chance, even if they tell me, well, it's because they're going to 6th grade and they can't read yet. And I told them, well, bring them in. Let me see what I can do. And I'm very honest with the parents. Like, completely honest because it's an investment. So I like to be very, very truthful with them about the progress, if it's working, and sometimes even about the behavior. I'll tell them, look, if they're not behaving, your investment is not going to be worth it because you're going to waste your investment, your time, and especially if they're in a group, you're disturbing other kids learning. So it's not like at school where you have to, oh, we can't say anything. No, this is like you're here to learn and that's it. But yeah. Thank you.
One more question. There's one over there.
Yes.
You mentioned at the beginning of your presentation, by the way, it was really good, very informative.
Thank you.
You mentioned at the beginning of your presentation how there's high schoolers that are unable to fill out applications because they're unable to learn.
Because they are unable to read. Yes.
What are the statistics? What do you see that's going on today that's like, I mean, alerting?
I don't have the statistic, which I should have done my research and put it on here. I just didn't want it to be like a super negative, like, oh, like they can't read. But America is literally in a literacy crisis. And I think there's a lot of factors. I think one of the things could be tablets. My daughter's on the tablet right now, like contradicting, but she's doing letters and sounds. Screens are good, but it just depends what you put your kids to do on those screens. A lot of the times, her dad and I will be doing the letters with her on the screens. So you can use technology, but it's the way that you use it. A lot of times, um, for various reasons, I don't know every parent, but some parents are working parents, so they don't have time to sit down with their kids and go over the homework, or they just give them the tablet, right? I think also state standards and mandates just make everything so heavily focused on that STAR test that the kids are just so bombarded with, oh, I have to prep for the STAR, I have to, and that they lose their love of like learning, and they don't want to read because they're like, oh, I need to read because you're telling me I need to pass this test. They don't have, right now, our curriculums and standards are not having kids learn to love literacy. Rather, it's like you have to do it because you have to pass this test, and we need to get these numbers, and our school, and we have to be rated. So I don't want to say blame, but blame the curriculum. Some curriculums are not as structured as they should be. And also more support, especially for working parents that maybe they want to sit down with their kids, but they just don't have the time, which is why I also wanted to do the parent workshops. Because if they choose to help their kids out, I can give them parent-friendly strategies. Thank you.
And I think the last question that we ask you is, by the way, great presentation. How can we as a community help you grow your business?
Grow my business?
Yeah.
Refer me, talk about me, follow me on social media. But one of the things that I guess my biggest ask, if there's anybody that would in the future want to collaborate for our annual school supply drive. It's never happened. This is something that I just solely like brainstorm this, like this is something that I want to do, because something that I'm always passionate about is giving back to the community. I think as an educator, we're all about giving back to the community, but I said through the business, how can I do this more with like a tangible form? And since I'm in education, I've really been thinking about, I want to host a drive for students in need for their school supplies, like something that could happen maybe every August or every September. But that is something that if there's anybody that would like to collaborate with that, that's going to be my ask today.
Thank you so much.
Did you have a question? Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay, guys, that was a great presentation. Let's give it again for Leslie, please. A couple of weeks ago, I want to say maybe like a month ago, we were talking and we had like a little focus group. We talk about the needs of the community, what we do. And although we love listening to stories and having that, sometimes you also want to say, okay, cool, but is there any resources out there? So last week we brought the Brownsville Wellness Coalition with the Farmers Market. There was a great presentation. You guys got some insight for that. And wanting to go back into that, our partners from BCAC reached out and say, hey, we would like to help. So I want to introduce you guys to Eric Quintero. He has a very informative presentation. I'm sure he's smiling inside Thank you, Eric. But if, sorry, without further ado, Eric Quintero.
Thank you, sir. I hate that picture of me. Can we please get a new one, Nelson? Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Quintero. I'm the Director of Community Development for BCIC, one of the local economic development corporations for the city of Brownsville. We're located up there. We let ECC run the first floor. And I'm here to talk about the Big Lift program. But before I get to that, Danny already got after me saying I would get a speaker's fee if I didn't talk about myself a little bit. He did say, just give you a little quick background. So again, Eric Quintero, born and raised here in Brownsville, graduate from Porter High School. And yeah, so been working here in Brownsville. Before I came to BCIC, I was doing banking. I was doing banking for about 6.5 years. Before that, a lot of retail and corporate jobs, but I wasn't really finding that feeling of fulfillment. I didn't feel like I was doing enough for the city. I wasn't doing enough for our small business. I wasn't doing enough for the community. So luckily, BCIC had this position open where we're able to do more for our small business owners. We're able to do more for our nonprofits. We're able to do more for our students and create new opportunities and new amenities for the city of Brownsville where it's a tangible impact as opposed to walking up to somebody and saying, hey, do you want a credit card? That's not fun. So this is more of a pathway that I am enjoying, where I can say that every day, I love the way Nelson says that every day we can see the impact and changes that we're making for the city, because we're working together with each and every one of you to make and create these new opportunities. So I'm here to talk about the Big Lift program. I know some people might not like the name, but I swear out of like 20, 30 names that we went through, we ended up here. So the Big Lift program, we're able to do grants of up to $30,000 to help Brownsville small businesses fund exterior and site improvements. This is a little bit of a change from what our current big program is for downtown. This is going to be citywide for locally owned businesses with fewer than 20 employees. It is going to be reimbursement based, and the applicants will be doing the funding up front, and then we reimburse, which is why it's reimbursement based. I just realized those two bullets kind of mean the same thing. Reason we're doing that is for transparency. We want to ensure that this work is getting done first before we give them the funding. Last thing we want is to give someone $30,000 and then they disappear. Why would they disappear with $30,000? Lord knows. I would do it for $1 million, but And these programs are, BCIC will reimburse up to 80% of the project. So eligible improvements. Exterior refresh, which is painting, cleaning, door, window, awning replacement, signage, repair and replacement of business signage, storefront visibility and lighting, murals and art, landscaping and hardscaping, which was kind of hard to figure out what hardscaping was. Turns out that means drought-resistant plants. And then resurfacing and striping improvements for parking lots. We know there's a bunch of potholes everywhere. There's a bunch of places where you go where you can't even see where the lines are. You can't see where the handicap parking is. This is an opportunity for the small businesses to apply to reestablish and reassess those. And who should apply? Businesses that are located within the city of Brownsville limits, locally owned, independently operated, with fewer than 20 employees on payroll, have been open and operating for at least 2 years, have at least 24 months remaining on their lease or the option for a renewal, are up to date on property taxes with no violations, and no worries, if you are a tenant, all you need is a notarized letter from the property owner allowing you to do these enhancements. Who should not apply? Home-based businesses. No, we're not going to repaint your house so that you could run a sticker business out of the garage. No offense, Nelson. Nonprofit organizations, residential buildings without commercial storefronts, businesses with active conditional COs, and of course, this is the important thing that we're stressing with all of our programs regarding BIG. No City of Brownsville officials or employees, current and recent BCIC board members and staff, immediate family of any of those above, as well as businesses that are active litigation with City or BCIC. And we didn't add this, but anybody from these three from these two, sorry, if they do get off any of the boards or no longer staff or no longer a city official or employee, they do have to wait 12 months before they can apply for these programs. Now, what is not covered? Interior improvements of any kind, new constructions. I already had somebody ask me if they could do a build out. No. Improvements to secondary buildings, garages, storages, alterations that reduce or enclose storefront windows, emergency repairs, HVAC, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, equipment, furnishings, appliances, a brand new fan, that doesn't count, pest control services, or just minor repairs and debris removal. As well, under operations and other, no in-house labor, no undocumented expenses, no project management costs that are like $70,000 for 2 months worth of work. That's not gonna fly. Dumpster fees, equipment rental, or, which I've seen before, miscellaneous as a cost. What does that even mean? And then cash payments. Of course, cash payments are not reimbursable. We need to see that there is an actual charge being placed onto your account for this transaction. Timeline. So we actually opened up District 1 this week until July 10th. Following that, we will be going to District 2, District 3, and District 4. Now, this is a pilot program that we're having for this next year. Reason we say pilot is because we want to hear the feedback. We want to hear the impact that this has. If we're able to see that what we're allocating is justified and the requests are in high demand, we're able to either adjust this program, add more funding to it, or just make it citywide instead of making it district by district. So this is an opportunity which I beg you, I beg you, please spread the word. Let people know about this program. Because the more that we can justify it, the more I can ask my board and ask the city commission, let's continue this, let's expand it, let's make it bigger. I realized big lift, bigger, okay. I think we use big too much. Bigger. So I did what you asked, Danny. I went fast because you told me I only had 10, 15 minutes. So this is our QR code for the program. Please scan it. Please let anybody you know. If I can get BCIC staff to raise your hands, all 15 of them, all 3 of them. You have any questions, please let us know. If you know anybody that may benefit from it, put them in contact with us. My email is right there. We have some flyers on the other side if you guys want to take it with you, as well as my business cards. I urge you to work with us to make sure this program is successful. Because at the end of the day, we want to give back to Brownsville, we want to give back to our community, and we want to make it, for all these new jobs that are coming in, an opportunity to showcase we don't need these big box corporations to come in. We have the people here, we have the businesses here that can make it thrive. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Quintero?
Not all at once.
Go ahead. Oh, this one?
Just a question on networking. Are you contacting the banks, the university, the chamber, the planning and zoning department? Are you getting the word out? Because it seems like it's more like for startups, because any existing business wouldn't qualify for.
Well, yes, businesses existing would qualify, but it's work.
But a 2-year startup, it just seems to me like these are new businesses, but the 10-year-old business.
Oh, they can apply too.
But for improvements, it's going to be a little difficult. But what I'm saying is it's more concentrated on startups, right? Is that correct?
No, so Ricardo's, they can apply for this. You know, the established Vermilions, if they do have any kind of facade. Correct, yeah. So all we're asking is that they have a minimum of 2 years. So it could be 20, 30, 40. I know Joe's Hamburgers on Southmouth, they could apply. But yes, we are going to be doing town halls every single month in different districts to bring awareness, to prepare them for to prepare them for it. And my goal is, when I'm doing these town halls, presenting this program, have different departments from the city and organizations set up tables as well. That way they can provide their resources to the businesses coming in.
The bankers know who's going to expand.
Yeah. I'm actually already have 2 banks in line for me to go present to their lenders and managers. So yeah, that is the goal throughout the process. And like I said, the more wait lists we have, the more traction we get, the more I can justify it to continue the program. to further push to more clients. Oh, I thought you had a question, Julio.
Buenos días. Pregunta, si ya nos beneficiamos de este programa, ¿podemos volver a aplicar? Ok, sí, eso.
Yeah, so this program is completely separate from Downtown Big. So yes.
I know we spoke to it earlier. I know that there's a district situation here. Is it possible for us to sign up ahead of time so that we can take it from the opportunity?
Can you repeat the question for online?
Yes. So the question was if we could, I guess, waitlist.
A wait list?
Yeah. So we do have a waitlist open already. What we'll be doing is doing an application for every district. That way we can keep track of how many come from each area, as opposed to having one single application and then every district apply. What we don't want is for there to be an oversight. So as soon as the District 2 application comes up, it will be live the second that it opened, September 1st.
And I think you mentioned one of the criteria that you needed to own the property, is that correct?
You can own the property, or if you're a tenant, you can, as long as you get notarized authorization from the property owner to do the enhancements.
How do you know in which district I'm located?
Good question, Mr. Director of Marketing for BCIC.
Can you repeat the question for online?
Yeah, the question was, how do we know what district they're in? So on our guidelines and the application, we do have a map directly linking you to the city GIS map, is that what it's called? City GIS map, where you're able to pinpoint your address and see what district it's specifically located in. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Quick question related for District 1. Mention the requirement less than 2 years?
Mhm.
Or yes?
Over 2 years.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, okay. There are 3 districts, or how many?
It's 4. We have 4 districts.
4 districts. What is the requirements related for to apply for these opportunities for District 1, District 2? What requirement you need information regarding for our business? For example,
Okay. So on our guidelines is the full list, but the general is we need your business documentation to see what kind of, how you're registered. Information on the property, proof that you are current on all your taxes, as well as designs for what you are planning to do, or at least a mock-up. I know sometimes planning and designing cost a little bit. So as long as you have a rough estimate of what you want to do, but we also do require at least 2 quotes from contractors. One of them, we are requesting that it be a local contractor. Yeah. Corre, Julio, corre, corre, corre.
It's okay. I have a question for you. It's 2. How does this, for the historical districts, how does that help with that? Because there's limitations regarding the housing and historical guidelines. And a lot of the business owners that are there are very limited on what they can do internally as well as externally to preserve their historical value. I have a lot of clients and a lot of property owners that can't do anything, but they want to apply for these grants. Are those within those guidelines?
Yes, so that's kind of what we work through right now with Big Downtown. They do have to talk to the historical preservation officer to see what can and can't be done for approvals. I know it is sometimes nitpicky on what can be done, but unfortunately, that's, once it's approved of what can be done, that's where we come in. So we do require that all permitting and approvals come from the city first before any work can be done.
Okay.
We are, just to tag on that, we are working on getting somebody from the Texas Historical Commission to come down to the city to host some lectures and do on-site visits with clients looking to do some alterations to their properties.
Yeah, a lot of the property owners that I work with, they're like, I want to clean it up. I want to make it pretty, not just pretty, but update it, but also preserve the historical value. We have a lot of buildings here that, you know, the brick is beautiful, the piping is beautiful, but it's no longer within code. So they have to put new piping in, but want to display piping. There's a lawyer's office that, that was a former jailhouse. They preserved it beautifully, but it took them about 5 years just to remodel the inside. 5 years that they had to operate out of a rental property that was not feasible to do business because the housing and the permits and all of that stuff were not approving and being in regulation in order for them to be approved for these types of programs to get them faster out there, because they have other properties that they want to purchase, but they can't if they're going to be limited by that and utilize your program, if they're going to be limited by the time frame and what they can and cannot do if it's not presented to them in just a simple guideline. Just give them, these business people go, okay, that's a list, I got it, okay, they work on it. They don't need a giant presentation. Give them the schematics and then they go from there. They do that. It's a quicker, more efficient way for them to be able to qualify for these programs, especially if you want this program to take off like you want it to. Provide that. Do you also have an affiliate that helps these people that meet their books and records in order to qualify to present to you? Do you have any resources available to them, any contact of any kind?
When it comes to finance and record and books, no, we don't, because we are not able to basically give a referral to anybody of that kind. We need to be impartial. But back to the historical of the list, I know the city is working on cleaning that up so that way it's a set requirement on everything. I know there's always strays out of nowhere that, hey, you can't have that light at that degree angle, you need to move it. Things that really just wouldn't see pop out of, like, this doesn't make sense. So the city is working on really honing that in when it comes to the historical buildings. So that is in the process. And then for us, for this fiscal year, one of our goals was, because of that, a lot of the feedback we heard. A lot of business owners or property owners for historical didn't really know or have any guidance. So that's why BCIC said, okay, then we'll take the work and we'll coordinate. So actually, Rudy and we went to a conference in Austin because I emailed the Texas Historical Commission about 4 times. Never got an answer. Called a couple times, didn't get an answer. So we went to this conference and I hunted somebody down and I said, I need you to come to Brownsville. And I was like, give me your card. Here's my card. Give me your phone number. I need you to come. So we're already coordinating with that. We're looking at maybe September for them to coming in.
Yeah, because I got a lot of property owners that own a lot of, and they're just like, I want to sell. I want to sell because it's taking for them too long to make it. They went in there going to make Brownsville great because they grew up in Brownsville. They've owned these properties. They saw it when it was first going up. They bought it to refurbish it, to make it pretty again, to make that historical value, that love of Brownsville back into it. But that part is holding them back because we have to stay modern, update, but also stay safe. And they can't do that because there's no set parameters for them to just go, okay, give me the list, got it. And then when they try to reach out, like the way they do that per building, they have to do that per their buildings. And these people don't just own one building, they own multiple buildings. So we want the preservation of downtown and every historical building that we have, not just downtown, to be preserved the way that we can and we should. That needs to be worked on ASAP, not, push it closer than September, because they're ready to sell. And if they sell, they're not going to be sold to local communities because the local communities can't afford them. They're going to be sold out to people that are foreign buyers that are already saying, hey, I want that property. And they're not going to preserve it from somebody from Brownsville would. I would just emphasize that a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's something we're definitely working on to see some progress on it.
Maybe do a conditional approval as long as they have everything in order.
Yeah, that would be on this from the city's portion of what their steps are when it comes to the historical properties.
Well, you could see a project and say, okay, that's worthy. We'll conditionally approve it as long as you bring in all the stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's an idea that we can look for the. Yeah.
I think, well, first and foremost, I want to say, seeing firsthand the work that you guys do, thank you so much for what you guys do for the community. But I also wanted to ask one question that I think we do hear a lot. Is there a specific industry that you guys are looking into this, or a specific type of businesses that can apply for this type of funding?
No. So it could be anybody. It could be any small mom and pop, any kind of business. As long as it adheres to the guidelines, we welcome everyone to apply. The only ones, actually, I shouldn't have said that. The only ones that we're not going to be approving are smoke and tobacco-based shops, vape shops of that kind. We will not be accepting.
Do you need to have a LLC corporation to apply?
Yes, LLC, partnership, DBA, however you do business, as long as you submit the proper documentation for it. Yes, ma'am.
The criteria for the 2 years, is that 2 years in that building, or can business have existed like in different places for 2 years and apply, or is it just in that building?
Just in that building. Yeah, because what we want is we want to ensure that it's a building that actually needs the justifiable work. So say it's somebody that's been in business 6 years, they move into the new Sable Market and they apply. Well, that's not really fair. It's a brand new location. They shouldn't be able to apply for that.
And the last question is, how can the community support you guys' work?
Great question, Danny. This doesn't work.
Just click on the computer, please. Thank you so much.
We have the technology, I swear. Everybody take a picture and put this on your Facebook stories. That's how you guys can help.
Yeah.
The more we spread the word on this, the bigger the impact, and the more, again, I could justify to put further funding for this pilot program. City of Brownsville, city limits only. Yeah, if anything in Cameron County, we have our eBridge Fund, which is another program we have. Yes, sir. Good to see you.
I think what you guys do is amazing. It's great for any small business owner. The thing that I see happening is, I wish that the like permits department, planning and zoning would work with you guys so that they could make that transition into getting a grant or getting the business up from the ground and making Brownsville beautiful again. Because it seems that if you don't have a good amount in your bank, I mean it's hard to be doing all this and paying out of pocket, when you have to sustain your payroll and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the city was taking, I know that we have a new person now in permits and all that. It seems that it's working a lot better, but I wish that they could make it a lot easier, just like she was saying, for some of us who have businesses downtown, and even with the historical part of it, it seems that it's a long process, and then you don't have the opportunity to get like a grant on this because you have to wait on that permit. So I wish that there was more done with them being in this type of settings and environment.
Can you get them to present?
Local business owners or investors that really want to invest in our downtown or even in Brownsville, since we're growing so much. So.
Are there any city employees here? No. You're preaching to the choir. No, there does need to be some improvements. Another thing that we're working on is getting our information and our programs on their Acela website. That way, as soon as people apply, they already see that, hey, there is grants here in this area, or there are grants in the other sectors to come apply to. Because we've seen it before where people apply for permitting here in downtown and they're not made aware of the grant. So they don't come in until they're midway done through the program. So that's something we're working on as well.
Can you give us a good example of a business that should apply and it's going to help your business? The 2-year thing is getting, you have to be there 2 years. But by then, you've already done all the first race.
That's a good one. So everybody on Southmost that have been in business for quite some time, but with everything that happened on International with the construction, those businesses were just getting a lot of wear and tear from and not being used. That's an opportunity to, Taqueria Siberia. They've been there for years. I don't know what condition their parking lot is in, but they can come in and say, hey, you know what? I need to repave my entire parking lot. It's bad. Or I need to create some ADA accessibility. That's where we can come in as well. The flower shop, that's a couple buildings down. I know it's along the street where they have a sidewalk. That plaza owner can come in, hey, you know what? I want to redo this entire street. I want to do signage for my tenants. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you require local contractors. Is that specific to contractors that are holding business licenses here in Brownsville?
Yes, sir. So we just require one. The other one can be if you have your own contractor. We just want to make sure that you are getting quoted a fair price.
And do you have a list of preferred contractors that you're working with?
The city of Brownsville does. We don't specifically because, again, we're not able to give preferential treatment and referrals. I think he had a question back there.
You have a question? Yes. And then after that, by the way, the beauty of Women in Clubs happens afterwards, so Mr. Quintero is always available to have a conversation. So he's not going to disappear after this, promise.
He did this on purpose so that I wouldn't go upstairs to work.
And I will do it again. Yes, please.
Okay, just a simple question. Do you ever go out, or would it be convenient that you would go out and talk to these businesses like yourself, go and knock on?
Yep, yeah. That's one thing I told my boss back from my banking days. I'm gonna go door to door. We actually have 2 interns starting on Friday who they don't know it yet, but they're gonna be doing the door to door with me. And then we are gonna be promoting one of our employees to be working alongside me come August. So she will also be doing some door to door. I don't know if she can hear me, but surprise. So yes, there is gonna be a lot of us going out there and being proactive instead of reactive to these programs. Because again, at the end, it comes down to the success of it. And even if it's not the success or they don't apply for this program or they say, you know what, I don't need it, I still want to bring them awareness of what the other programs that we have here at eBridge. The Kaufman or eBridge Academy, sorry, can't say Kaufman. eBridge Academy, we have the SBDC, we have SBA, we have all these resources that I think it's important that even if they don't apply for Lyft, they at least take one of these and work with them.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Eric.
Thank you.
After he broke my clicker, but it's okay. I don't hold a grudge. He'll give me a coffee later. I know, I'm like, did you delete one of my slides? Anyway. There you go. This is the one that I want to talk to you guys. How many of you guys have you taken our business course here at eBridge? If you have, you probably met Julio already. There's like a few over here. So this is a free business course that we offer. So it's facilitated by UTRGB, especially our center, the Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center. And it is sponsored by BCIC. This is a no cost for you guys, thanks to them paying for the fee for you. And it's an application. We started in June 16th. It is open for everyone to apply. I would encourage you guys to do so. I would say a lot of the people that have gone through our programs do see the benefit of it. And a lot of you guys keep on coming because you see the benefit. So I would advise you to keep on checking the opportunities we have here at eBridge, like I said, either with UTRGB, either with BCIC. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for being here every single Wednesday. One thing, and I want to give you guys something that I was talking to someone. How good do you think you sell your own business? Like when you talk about it, when you talk about your business, when you're describing what you do, how well do you think you do it? I'm telling you, and I was thinking about it because of the elevator pitch. So in order for you to graduate this course, you have to have an elevator pitch. So Julio, what's an elevator pitch? There you go, 1 minute pitch where you present your business, who you are, what you do. There's a lot more information on, you need to have a hook, you need to have this. There's a couple of things, but how many times have you stopped and say, you know what, I have 2 minutes to meet someone, let me tell what I do. what am I lacking? What am I not saying? What message am I not describing that I would like the other person to know? So if you have a chance today, find yourself a peer, describe your business to them, tell them to tell you back what they understood, and listen to what the audience have to say of what you're selling. From there, you can, do a little workshop, listen to what that person is understanding and what you're lacking from that. Because there's no one else that's going to be able to sell your business better than you do. So I'll leave you guys with that homework. I'll leave this open for you guys to apply, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you guys for being here today. Bye, y'all. I need someone to play the music like right after. It's a little awkward. Wait, do you want to cook?